Hi, I'm Julie Emden. I welcome you. And today's practice will be focused on the spirot of Netzach and Hod as we're in the process of counting the Omer. And I know that many of you are familiar with this practice. I would love to share with you some of the practices and teachings for embodying the spirot that I've been developing for the past 25 years. And every time we practice, it's a new discovery and a new experience. So first, I just want to take a read and ask. I'm looking at you just to see how many of you are familiar with the mapping of the spherode on the body, just like to get a glance. Great. Yeah, I'm seeing hands. Yeah. So there's this beautiful way that our tradition offers a mapping and a blueprint of balance in the body with the counting of the Omer. And each week we're focused on a different sphera. And in general, one thing to think about with the mapping is that the right side of the body is much more extending and forward action. And the left side of the body, when you look at the map, is more receiving and stepping back and contained energy. And so today in our practice, we're going to focus on this week. We're in the sphera of Netzach. And another thing to think about is that the upper sphirot, Chesed, Gevura, and Tiferet, are the realm of emotion and interpersonal and intrapersonal. And when we move into the lower sphirot, as we are doing this week, we began last Wednesday with moving into Netzach. We're moving into the lower triad, the realm of action. And so the focus is hips and legs. Netzach is the right leg, right hip, and Hod, which we begin this week on Wednesday, is the left. And in the practice of the Omer, there's balance. It's always about balance. And so today I'm going to offer some ideas for Netzach in the yoga postures as we also infuse the quality of Hod. So that's the offering. And we're going to begin with lying on the floor and opening the hips, opening the legs, and I'll drop in and infuse more teachings from our tradition as we go. So if you will, go ahead and come to your mat. The setup that we'll begin with is to have a mat open with a blanket open to lie down, and please have a strap nearby. And, you know, one way to study and embody these qualities is to take the quality through the whole body. But we'll begin the practice with really focusing on the area of the body that we're mapped on. So the hips and legs, we're going to open up today, starting with that. So take the knees and bend them, place feet hips distance apart. And take a moment to orient and feel yourself resting into the floor. Oh, maybe take a sigh, maybe massage the jaw, the scalp, the head, the face, just awakening yourself to your skin and your shape, arms and wrists, awareness into the shoulders and the upper body, and then moving down with awareness into the lower back, hands at hip points. And let's lift the hips just a couple inches and send the tailbone away from the head, lengthening, sending energy out the thighs through knees, and then release the hips back down for a little more length in the whole torso, in the lower back. And when you rest down, take a moment to really align and feel even weightedness, right and left side. And from here, we'll go ahead and leave left foot on the floor, extend the right leg up with the sole of the foot expanded, reflecting the sky, and circle the ankle joint. We're going to open the joints, infusing the quality of chesed, flow, fluidity, circling ankle joint one way and another. And then bend and straighten the right leg, just opening the back of the leg, the front of the leg, aligning the circumference of joints, hip, knee, and ankle, just waking up that leg. A few times. Now let the leg stay bent and we'll circle the thigh, small circles, just a few inches in the hip joint one way and another, waking up the joints. Keep the left leg steady. And this is the primary quality of Netzach, steadiness, eternity, staying. So the left knee is bent and staying straight and aligned with the foot and the hip. Okay, a little waking up. Now we'll take right foot to floor, extend left leg. Circle the joints. One idea for Netzach is this idea of eternity, of staying with, of perseverance. And so as we're circling the joint and as we're staying, noting the parts of your body that are steady, that are foundation, the whole torso, the right foot, the right knee bent. And then go ahead, bend and straighten that leg, waking up the left leg. Bend and straighten at your own pace. And then circling with a bent knee, the hip in the joint, needing to engage the abdominals to keep a little bit of steadiness. And I'm going to invite you, this whole practice can be a practice of Hod within Netzach as present moment within eternity. So staying present with the movement and change as we notice the parts of the body that stay steady. Okay, so let's just take a little bicycle pedaling, just waking up one more time in these motions in the plane of just forward and back, and then take feet to the floor. Go ahead, take your strap and take it across the lowest hip points where the thigh creases begin, and feel and note the evenness of each side waist and the length of your whole body. If you have room, take your hands overhead behind you, palms facing one another, arms long and straight and open, and then open the legs too, so you lie down with one long open channel of the whole body, right leg and left leg, reaching as evenly as right arm and left arm, and opening and maybe wiggling the toes, just waking up this whole idea of the body as a channel for divinity, for your soul, for your nefesh. And then we'll bend the legs, take strap around the midfoot of the right leg, left knee is bent, left foot on floor, and we'll just take that leg, opening it up. Please take a minute to tilt the pelvis slightly in a way that you have a little bit of an arch in the lower back. And the femur inserts really easily into the hip joint. When we do this, you feel the length of the hamstring, maybe take leg a little further away from the head than you might usually. So you really take a soft arch in the lower back. You can take your hand, even maybe your left hand with right arm holding strap, and feel a little bit of space behind the lower back. And come back, hold strap with both hands, and just waiting and watching Netzach with real gentleness and ease, and receiving Hod, the posture. This beautiful dance of these two qualities, effort and effortlessness. Keeping your leg where it is, the top right leg, extend the left leg long on the floor. Note that it's aligned, so you really feel the knees and toes facing the sky. And from here, take straps into the right hand, externally rotate the top leg, the right leg, and take the leg out maybe a foot, maybe a foot and a half, so the hip points stay steadily focused to the sky, and extend your left arm overhead again, just like we did before. If you need help with balance, you can take your left arm out at shoulder height on the floor as a T, at the T position. So really gently opening, keeping hips aligned to the sky, really waking up, illuminating the inner leg and the whole length of the leg through the inner heel. Toes are alive and active. Right leg, netzach. And you can play with bending and straightening the leg here a little bit. Just noting the beautiful shapes our body can take. Then go ahead, bend the left knee, take foot back up to sky. Switch the strap to the left hand and take the leg over, cross the body just a few inches. Just a few inches today. So you really just feel the outer hip to outer knee to outer ankle, that line of energy. And that left knee is netzach, staying bent and steady. Good. And then let's take both legs up to the strap, up above you. Notice when you extend the left leg up to meet the right, notice the difference leg to leg after opening the right leg. And then release right leg, bend the knee, foot on floor. Find that little arch of the lower back and wake up, opening to the waking up of the left leg. Right knee is bent, right foot on floor. Holding straps with long arms close to the foot. Noting the places in the back of the left leg that are opening now. And then keeping that lower back arched slightly so you have that action of femur inserting into hip joint. Extend right leg long on the floor. Notice the difference. Find the new placement, the new moment, present moment hold of the left leg as it needs to adjust when we lengthen and extend the right. And go ahead, take straps in the left hand, externally rotate that left leg from the hip joint, take the leg out 1 foot, maybe 1.5, just a third of the way. Right hand can be on right hip point to feel the steadiness of the shape. Right arm extends long behind you on the floor or from the shoulder out. Noting what it takes to keep the shape, to keep steady with the shape, this aspect of steadiness. Go ahead, take leg up to the sky once more, straight up, bend the right knee and foot. Take strap to right hand, cross the top leg over just a few inches. Really feel what's right in your body. As always, if anything is not right, you are the authority. Please take care of your own body's needs. And we're waking up and lengthening through the outer leg, maybe feeling energy through the inner knee as well to the ankle. The whole channel of the leg, the inner seam and outer seam, reaching and lengthening. Okay, let's release that leg, release both legs, bend knees into the chest. Just take the hands behind thighs and a gentle rocking back and forth, just waking up a little the movements that might, just any movement that feels good right now with knees bent, with legs and hips. Take your own moment of another stretch, another opening, another movement that feels right for your body. And then when you're ready, roll to your side and use your hands to come on up to sitting. We'll put the blanket aside. Okay. And let's go ahead and come to standing. And I invite you to take your blocks, if you have them, on either side behind your feet, maybe up high today at the length. We'll take a few standing poses. And we'll begin with the right leg turned out from the femur, left leg turned in. Feet are wide in a way that you really feel, really take note today of your foundation and your steadiness. What width gives you the most steadiness in your practice? Every day it might change a little. If it works for you, align the heel of the right foot with the middle of the back foot, and the whole back leg is turned in, not just the foot. Inhale, raise the arms, palms face forward, and we'll turn the hips to the right and hinge the shape with softness behind the right knee to a triangle. Gentle first posture today. Take hand to the block so you find a lift and a lengthening. And feeling the steadiness of the back leg. This back left leg is going to be your netzach, staying steady for the whole little series we'll do. So feel the steadiness, outer foot, inner heel, base of big toe, really supporting you. And find the length also of the whole upper body coming from the foot. Lines of energy opening. Okay, keeping the back leg steady from here, we'll release the top arm down behind and around, soften behind the right knee, and come to side angle. Right knee over right ankle, lifting up off the block, maybe turning the heart toward the sky. Present moment, hold a surrender, a receiving of the shape. Couple breaths. Noting that some shapes do feel like an eternity, and calling upon, recruiting upon the resources within, what will keep the shape steady for you, how to stay steady if we don't feel so strong. And then let's inhale, keeping both legs steady. Both legs are netzach, arms open and leaning back for reverse warrior. The right arm reaches and lengthens up from the hip crease. The left arm is just relaxed and released. Few breaths. And then finally, keeping both legs steady, warrior two, palms facing forward. Readjust and lifting up out of the pose a little if your quadriceps are getting tight or sore. Looking over the right arm. Just staying with. And finding a softness, a surrender within the effort. Maybe the arms receive like angel's wings, like eagle's wings, support from the air beneath. And then let's straighten the right leg, both feet face forward. We'll take the blocks in front for a wide angle forward bend. So the blocks are in front of you now, standing. If you practice regularly and your hands easily come to the floor, please do it that way. Take it as you will, and align second toes with sides of mat. Soften behind the knees for a moment, keeping the alignment of the hips and knees and ankles steady. Hinge the torso and pelvis over the legs. Hands come to blocks or hands come to the floor. Keeping a long channel from tailbone to crown. Placing weight in the big toe and the big pinky toe, base of toes, and circumference of heels supporting you, sending down and lifting energy up through the inner arches, the inner legs, and out through the whole body, through crown of head. If you practice regularly and you'd like to take hands a little further between the feet with soft elbows, releasing the spine, please do. Just for a moment to feel the steadiness and strength of the legs and the release and flow of the upper body. And then come on up. Hands come to blocks or hips, and bend the knees, walk feet together. Inhale, raise arms overhead, palms together, down to the heart. Feel the feet steady in mountain pose. We'll do that one more time. Bend knees, raise arms overhead. Feel the length of the body, hands to heart. And one more. Inhale, arms overhead, hands to the heart. And let's just roll the shoulders a minute and take second side. So take blocks behind you, standing up. And we'll extend the left leg, externally rotating from the hip, turning in the right leg. Find your stance. And through the whole practice, I invite you, to play with movement, with a little softness in the knees and straightening again to really find your way into the posture that feels right. Inhale, raise arms, palms face forward. Turn the hips to the left and hinge the shape up and over, triangle. So now your right leg is netzach through this whole series, is staying steady. And note any new openings that you might feel in this shape, this moment, code. Turning perhaps the heart up to the sky, so there's a gentle little twist happening in the upper body. Head and neck stay forward or look up, whichever is better. Just really staying with the postures today. And then soften behind the left knee as you release top arm behind and around, one fluid movement to side angle. And really feeling into the shape today as if it's new, as if you've never done it. Aligning knee over ankle. Noting the places in the body that take weight. Lifting up off the block, lengthening from the inner arch of the back leg all the way up through. Find the crown to fingertips. And keeping your legs steady. Legs keep their shape. Let's hinge the upper body up and over. Reverse warrior. Left arm is up, palm facing in. Right arm rests behind. Lengthening and reaching from the side waist on both sides. And then once more, legs steady, come into warrior two. Noting the strength it takes, noting the patience, the endurance, the perseverance to keep this shape. If you'd like, turn head to look over the left arm, shoulders release down, lengthening from pubic bone up through sternum to crown. And then let's straighten the leg, lift the arms up, release both arms down, walk feet together, and just releasing and wiggling anything that needs a wiggle. And we'll take downward facing dog, moving the blocks aside. If you need a blanket under your knees, we'll start with all fours. So take what you need. We'll come to all fours, aligning index fingers with sides of mat, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, feet as wide as knees. Let's take cat-cow for a minute. Inhale, lifting tail and head. Exhale, round the back, drawing, gathering the front ribs into yourself. And in your own timing, let's take this a few times. Your breath initiates the movement. When you inhale, you lift the tail and head. When you exhale, you round the spine. And then come on up into downward facing dog, straightening the legs. Let's start with soft knees, sending your weight to the back of your body. The legs are taking the weight. Open the soles of the feet, spread the toes, feel the expanse of the sole of the foot onto the mat, lifting the weight up out of the shoulders, and asking and finding, inquiring, where's Netzach in this posture? Where's Netzach? Where's Hod? Feeling the effortlessness within the effort. This is known as a resting pose. And then go ahead and release. If it's right for your body, come into child's pose. Knees are as wide as the torso. Tops of feet lie flat. And releasing hands to the floor, elbows, maybe head rest on your hands or on a block, whatever shape is a nice rest for you. You can do this seated in a chair as well. And then from here, lift the torso up. Arms and hands are extended long. And just walk hands over to the left as far as they'll go and extend and lengthen the right arm long onto the mat to the left corner. So you're lengthening the whole side waist on the right, resting onto the knee. You can draw the left elbow back with hand on floor near your leg to keep it bent, lengthening and extending the side waist on the right. And really feeling into the hip crease, seeing if you can keep the weight even in the hips. And then let's lift up with a long spine, walk the hands over and extend the left arm all the way from the hip crease. So feeling the connection of upper body to lower body. Right hand comes back, elbow bent, right hand on floor. So you really have balance, support. Head can rest on the floor or come straight, long, extended from the spine, whatever's best for your body. Always receiving the postures and settling into them with each breath. And we'll come on up to sitting. And from here, we're going to take the blankets and do a couple of sitting forward fold postures. So if you have a blanket, you'll take it and fold it in half and then Fold it in half again for some extra height. Some of you might have a couple blankets. You can use more than one. And we'll place the folded edge facing the front of the mat and sit on the very front of the folded edge of the blanket. Yeah. And first we'll extend the left leg long and straight, just halfway, not all the way splayed out, but really noting each of us has a unique structure. And the leg has an insertion based on the structure of the hip joint. So really take it easy, not splaying the legs, but this idea of hod within netzach, of receiving and surrendering to what is within the structure, within the effort. Left knee is long and extended, right knee is bent. And first, you can have blocks if you'd like, depending on the length of your torso. Hands come either to the floor with fingertips light or to blocks. And we'll go ahead and lengthen from, again, the very base of the spine, from the pubic bone up through sternum to crown, and gently hinge forward 1 inch, 2 inches. This aspect of netzach as waiting and being with and cultivating patience is especially applicable in our forward bends in the practice. So noticing if you're gripping in the thigh, releasing that, softening, allowing the leg to be active without gripping, awake without clenching. Hinging forward, really feeling into the opening in the hamstrings and the backs of the legs, and noting what your body wants and needs in the practice right now. Just a very gentle forward fold. If you practice regularly and you'd like to go further, please do. If you'd like to take hands down with elbows, if you'd like to round your spine, and that's what your body needs, please go ahead. I'm going to offer this way of practicing right now. For most of us, it's a different quality of hod within netzach, of a softness and a surrender without so much effort. And you notice if you stay, something softens and the body comes closer and lengthens more as a result of the softening. And then let's hinge the torso up, switch the legs. So hands on blocks or hands on floor. Align the knees and toes of the right leg long up to the sky and hinging. Weight even on both sits bones, hinging the shape forward. Lengthening the front body for the forward fold. And then coming back up, let's inhale, raise the arms overhead, bring the left foot in, lengthen and extend from the sideways and release the right arm down. Just take a gentle length and turning up to the sky. The right arm supports you. And then take it to the second side. Just really finding more length and reach in the side body. And do it one more time, side to side, just lengthening and opening. Your legs can be extended long if crossing isn't right for you. Oh, and one more. Second side. Okay. And just another little roll of the shoulders. And from here, I invite you to take um, your body to a couch or a chair. And if you don't have that, you can also build up the blocks on a height with a blanket on top. But what we're going to do is rest the forehead and feel a forward fold that's more restorative. So coming either with two blocks in the blanket up, and we'll take the legs wide in Upavista Konasana. So we're going to take a gentle wide fold in this shape, if that's right for you, or sitting on a blanket coming to the couch or chair. And the legs are wide, gently in a shape that's right. And first, before you fold over, let's everyone find your shape, find the sits bones even. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, feel the length of the whole front body, and then hinge the shape over, just as we did first with a very long torso, and then resting the forehead on hands. Or you can build up or down with pillows. And we'll take this for a few minutes, just feeling a receiving of a forward fold. Weight is even in the legs. Noting if you feel it in your back to build up the height a little more so that the whole shape of the spine through the neck, through the cervical spine is long and extended. So you might build it up a little more with pillows. Yeah. Right. And if you are in a more deep forward fold, once more feeling and lengthening, turning the whole torso and pelvis over the legs. Just really allowing the legs to be strong and lengthened as you turn the pelvis and torso over. So you feel the shape of the forward fold as a receiving. Yes. Yeah. I'm seeing some of you on the screen and good. And from this shape, we're going to come on up slowly and come back to our mats with an open blanket and lie down for a lying twist before Shavasana, before resting. So we'll open, if you'd like a little softness under you, you can open the blanket and we'll come back to the shape we began with, just lying with our torso. Maybe taking another audible sigh, another deep breath. And from here, let's go ahead and take hands down by the hips, palms facing down. Lift hips slightly up and over to the right. Set them down, bring knees up and over to the left. Just a gentle lying twist, open the arms. Taking maybe a V shape today, just feel where your arm wants to go. Yeah, with the knees to the left hand can rest on the top thigh and looking over the right shoulder if that's right for you. Just luxuriate, taking in the shape, receiving the shape of the twist. And then bringing knees back to center, recenter the pelvis and hips. Netzach and hold, and then lift hips up, send them to the left. Bring the knees in close, close, close to the chest, and then over to the right. Second side. Really resting and settling and releasing front body to back body into the floor. And bring knees back to center. And we'll take our final resting pose. And you can place the blanket under your head if you'd like, or under your knees rolled. Taking any last shape that your body needs before resting completely. We'll take a few minutes of rest together. Extending the legs long if they're on the floor, and noting if there's any holding, any final point of release that can happen for a little more rest, a little more settling, a little more surrender, hold with this within this eternal shape. And go ahead and take a long, deep breath, the breath of life, Nishmat Chaim. And just noting in this moment the benefits of the practice, the floor beneath you, gratitude for the shape of the body as it rests. And as you're ready, bend the knees and roll to your side and come on up to sitting. And just take a moment to feel the evenness and balance in the body, front to back and side to side, sitting on a lifted blanket or whatever way is most comfortable for you, feeling the collarbones wide, the release and softening of the armpits and elbows. We'll close the practice with an acknowledgement of the divinity within, B'Tselem Elohim, created in the image of the divine.